Got him. This sure makes you feel like you're not in the city though. Fish.
Howling at the moon while the innocents sleep through a canyon of concrete walls. I've been down, oh, but not this alone. 27 years, never missed a single sunset. Eyes growing green, living in the shadows.
I came up on the first two bass that I've seen in this stretch so far, and unfortunately this little bluegill stole the glide bait right before they could get it. They came up and were trying to eat the glide bait out of his mouth though. I got one rod today, guys. I got a bunch of different baits in my fanny pack. I want to try to catch as many as I can on each bait. It's real cold.
Others enjoy the company.
I'm not sure what they're going to be willing to eat. Hopefully those other bass that I just spooked, I can maybe get a hook in one of them. But I think I'm going to have to cover quite a bit of water to find where the bass are in this stretch, guys. I've never been to this creek. All I've got is my Dark Wolf with 6-pound fluoro and my Dobbins 701C, guys. Got him. Yep, that's one of the little ones that I saw, guys. That's awesome. Man, these things are pretty. We got clear, clean water, and it just brings out the best colors in these bass, y'all. Y'all, my chest waders have a bad hole in them, so instead of having wet feet again today, I just decided to go with the Blade hoodie, and I got my waterproof guide pants on with some muck boots. Gorgeous little creek bass there. Got it on the tiny glide and that combo that I just showed you earlier. I'm hard pressed to find a bait, guys, that the fish will just creep up on and investigate as hard as a glide bait. Y'all who throw the big glide baits, you know that too. They just have some kind of magic about them that pulls fish in. They look at it, they look at it, they look at it, and they question it longer than almost anything that you can throw. And that guy just couldn't resist and swiped and got the troubles. Look at that scenery that I got today, guys. North Texas doesn't always have to be ugly, y'all. Y'all, I just watched a small largemouth bass swim up these rocks like a little trout. His top half of his body was out of the water, and he just shimmied his way right up to here and was looking at me, and I tossed my bait out in front of him. He wouldn't eat it, but I tried to fly fish him all the way back, and he just scurried down underneath of that lay down. And I'm talking like not even I mean just inches of water. So wild, it was acting like a little rainbow trout or something. There's one. Got one, guys. On the little glide bait, what do we got here, species? Green sunfish. Caught us a greedy little green sunfish on the tiny glide. In some of these pools, guys, before I come up on them, especially if they're small like this, I beach my board and I creep up on it and I make a few casts first so I don't spook them out. But unless you got really deep chest waders or you're 7 foot tall, most of these pools you can't walk through. So then I float over the top of the rest of it. And the main reason I didn't tell you guys before either that I'm down here is because we got 30-mile-an-hour gusts out of the north today, and the lakes would just be a washing machine. So I'm taking cover down here in the creek. Maybe we can run into a decent bass today, who knows. Got one. That's so much fun, guys. Even when they're panfish, when you can see them come up and eat it like that. That is a good sized green sunfish too, man. Look how much he ate that little glide bait. He had half of it all the way down. Another little green sunfish, guys. Something else I'm experimenting today with, guys, is running one of those silent snaps on the head of my glide bait. And I'll tell you, it does a couple of things. It helps it cast a little better because it adds a little weight, and it also helps it sink a little faster because it adds just a little bit of weight. But it still falls very level, and it still has really good side-to-side action. I can still walk it. So far, no detriments and all benefits of adding that little snap so far. And I can change out lures very quickly and easily. These green sunfish in here, guys, are pretty. This one's a lot darker than the last few that I've caught. I'm just casting it out there a ways, guys, and walking that little tiny glide back on my BFS setup and 6-pound line, and they thump it. Got one. Now that, my friends, is a bluegill. You can see how much smaller his mouth is, and you can see how the color changes. He's got like vertical bands on him with a little bit of a yellow belly, greens. Sometimes they get some oranges on them too. Oh, he found his way back. Got one. Wow. That's another species of sunfish right there, guys. Look at how pretty the orange is on him. He's got turquoise and he has orange. That is gorgeous right there. Got one. Another really pretty little sunfish, guys. Guys, I love catching big bass, don't get me wrong, but I grew up fishing kind of like this as well. And there's something about being down in a creek, making accurate casts on a bait that's really fun to throw and catching fish that pretty. All in the middle of the city too. This sure makes you feel like you're not in the city though. Fish. Got one, guys. What do we get? All right, that's awesome. A creek crappie. I'll show y'all what I caught him on too. Y'all, the bass are being so picky right now. There are like a handful of bass in this pool that I'm casting at. I threw the tiny glide, nothing. And I'm gonna try to throw something down deeper. I've got this little 1/16 ounce Moondog Bait Company swim jig with one of their 2-inch Slim Shads on it. And I caught a little creek crappie there. I'm gonna see if I can pick off a few of these bass in this pool though.
Please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me.
There's one. Guys, I think I got a good bass. Finally. Heck yeah. Been a little while, guys. This is one of the few deep pools that I've pulled up on. There was one further back that way that had fish in it, where I caught that little crappie and I just couldn't get them to bite on anything. But this is what I'm throwing. I'm throwing a 1/16 ounce Moondog Bait Company spy jig. It's got the little prop on the front and a 2-inch Moondog Slim Shad on there. I don't know, they weren't biting the wacky chatter, the glide bait, a jig, a jerk bait. So this is where we're at now. And I got another little largemouth. There are bass down here. So I've never been here before, but there's definitely bass. And this is a spot that would be worth coming back to. So I'm glad that I'm at least out here exploring it. Another one. Guys, that one feels like the best one yet. Head shaking a little bit. Heck yeah. So there's this ledge right there. It's probably 3 to 4 feet deep, and they can hide in underneath that ledge right there. And I'm casting that spy jig right up against it, right through the nose on the little spy jig, guys. He did a great job building those because they free spin very easily, guys. It's like a miniature megabass okashira. That thing spins real freely. That prop doesn't never get caught up really. It spins like crazy. That is a spotted bass, guys. There's another species. I think we've caught 3 species of sunfish, largemouth, spotted bass, and a crappie. So we've caught 6 species so far out of this creek, guys.
Never really quite know what to do. Tell me, old man, what are you looking
Fish.
for?
There we go, guys. I have covered a lot of water to get to some pools that have enough water to hold bass, guys. A lot. It's gonna take me a while to get back to the truck too. It's on that spy jig.
Sometimes the whole damn world seems out of joint, and it makes me wonder. And it makes me want to live. So there's still freedom while there's still some, and take the whole world in.
Got him.
If I could only leave my worries.
I'm gonna try to fish my way back in a bit of a hurry because I got so far away from the launch point, guys. Little green sunfish on the wacky chatter. 1/16 ounce flashback mini with a 2.5 inch Moondog BFS mini stick. Got one. Not very big today, guys, but like I said, for a real cold early winter day, we'll take it.
Old man, I know you've had questions too. Same ones we asking. You just
Got another one, guys, finally. Might even be the biggest one we've caught yet. He's not too big, but that's a good feeling to end on. Yeah, I got so far away from where we launched, and I spent the last hour trying to get back, and he inhaled the wacky chatter. Y'all, if you just want to go to some small water, whether that be a clear pond or a creek, and you want to cover some water but still catch quite a few fish, those weighted 1/16 ounce flashback mini chatterbait heads with a very small stickworm style bait like this 2.5 inch Moondog BFS mini stick will catch fish in about any water. I like to have a lot of versatile baits in my box, guys, and that's definitely one of them.
you learn to leave your worries with the birds of the wind.
Y'all, we didn't catch a ton of bass, but we definitely found a few small ones, and there were 2 pools where I saw bass that were definitely full-size bass, mature bass, and a few of them looked pretty big, but I don't know, I guess it's just the cold front. I threw about everything that I had with me at them, and they would just like look at it, swim away, look at it, swim away. I mean, if I can dangle that glide bait right in front of their face and they won't eat it, if I can, and I had a wacky worm right in front of a decent sized one not too long ago, and if they don't eat a wacky worm that's dangling right in front of their face, guys, you know it's hard fishing. But you know, for coming out to a spot that I've never been to before, guys, and just kind of wanting to explore on a day where the weather was actually terrible. Like I said, the cold front just came in. We had really heavy north winds, so going about anywhere else other than doing something like this just wasn't going to work out. So I'm still grateful that we got on some fish, some really pretty little panfish on the glide bait, guys. And I did figure out that, you know, with that line snap, not only does it help you change baits out quicker, it helps the glide bait sink faster. And with my little jerk bait and with a few crankbaits that I tried to throw, guys, instead of, you know, like a slow float up with the crankbaits, it helps them suspend and even sink a little bit. And that's going to be killer in some cold water tactics. Same thing with the jerk baits, guys. It helps them just kind of sit there and even sink just a little bit instead of just suspending. And sometimes that can be what it takes to trigger some cold water bass. If y'all enjoyed this one, leave a like for me. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, guys. Talk with me down in the comments below, and then make sure to check the pinned comment for a playlist that I'm going to link down there. I'll probably put this one in just like creek fishing videos, and y'all can check out all the other really cool creek trips that I've taken within the last year or two. But thank y'all for watching, and until the next one, y'all take her easy. We'll catch you on the next one.